Now the schedule's not quite as tight on day 2, so we have a little break before the next game. Ben, your thoughts on Samurai International playing the Classic Wallabies?
Yeah, look, I think this may be one of the picks of the quarterfinals that we've got coming up, and the Samurai, for me, were probably the most solid team on day 1. They look very convincing. They've got a good balance through their squad. Obviously, we've learned that there's a lot of boys from a same team in Bay of Plenty, which obviously helps with the communication and the gelling. But you're definitely seeing that, and they, but the key here is they've got to take those performances into day 2, because day 1 means nothing otherwise.
Yeah, and you're quite right. We talk about teams building through the tournament and getting better and better. The Samurai started with they hit the ground running basically with a good solid team, good cohesion, and they've got strengths all over the park. They've got size, they've got speed, they've got guile, they've got all the components they need. Won their 3 matches in Pool 1. Classic Wallabies, by contrast, they came through 1-2, lost their last game to the Hong Kong Football Club, and only just scraped through into the cup round by virtue of a 4-point differential above the football club. It just shows how tight this competition is.
Yeah, no, I mean, you definitely don't write the Classic Wallabies off, because they've got some experience in Stephen Hoyles and Wendell Saylor out in the field, but they've also they're a team that are gonna battle. They've got a good balance of younger players this year, and I think this is going to be a great competition.
The Samurai kick off. Ball goes into touch. Unusual to see no one underneath that. Quick throw in from the Classic Wallabies. They'll be looking to use the pace and the young lads out wide. Right smile there from Justin Harrison as he greets Ben Gollings, having shared each other's company at the Dotty Weir dinner last night. A solid night of entertainment and a lot of fun had by many. Not so many of the players that are playing today.
No, you definitely wouldn't want to be playing and feeling in that shape.
The ball position with the Classic Wallabies, finding touch on the midway between halfway and 10-metre line for the Samurai. So I think the Classic Wallabies, you'd have to say, may have played close to their potential yesterday, whereas I think Samurai might have a lot more on the tank, but we're about to find out. Okay, great jackling over the ball there. Catches it difficult with the Samurai numbers that aren't actually numbers, they're letters, so that was
just a second too slow there, the Classic Wallabies. Stephen Hall's in that breakdown. Samurai snapping it onto it straight away.
And over the ball it was Timothy Tavalia that did the damage and forced the penalty there. Samurai find clear the penalty to touch and have the throw to the line out just outside Wallabies 22. Good lines there, and you see Samurai, there's a lot of players in motion all the time. It's not just one person probing, it's multiple threats.
And you can see the pace in which they're playing at. Compared to the last game even, there's a definite change in tempo here at the moment.
The organisations, but in saying that, the Classic Wallabies aggressive at the ruck and have counter ruck, turned the ball over, so they've got an opportunity here. Space out wide.
Oh.
Ball goes into touch. The referee's going to come back, and he was playing a long advantage for the knock-on from the Samurai there. So I think we'll find it's the Classic Wallaby feed to the scrum.
I think Timmy Atkinson here on the outside, if he had have got that, he'd be looking up and thinking, I don't think I'll be going the full length.
Wrong place, wrong time.
In his prime, he would have done.
Yeah. And you'll see the very, very frequent rotation of subs here from the Classic Wallabies. And again, it's about getting that breather, getting that reorganisation. You saw Samurai wanting to play the game at pace and with high energy and a lot of movement. It might be a little bit more controlled and composed from the classic Wallabies.
You know, they've actually defended very well at the moment, and the key now is get out of their half and start applying the pressure the other way.
Well, they just rolled some more kilos onto the park there, so I was going to say the scrum should be reasonably solid, but in saying that, Samurai shoved them off the ball.
Yeah, ball going straight through the tunnel there.
Straight
so I think there'll be a reset.
But the other significant difference you see with the Samurai, you see that all talking. It's busy, their mouths are going, they're all talking, they're all on the same page, they're all aggressively working forward. So that's the difference between having one of your mates alongside you and a complete stranger.
Yeah, it certainly adds to the confidence levels out on the field.
Oh, really shoved that. Trying to take a quick tap without tapping the ball. I'm not sure that's going to work. And
I think a tactic from the classic Wallabies here is to just really try and slow this game down as much as they can and just niggle.
And you know, one thing they used, they've got a couple of big units out there. Some of the games they used them quite effectively to draw in 2 or 3 tacklers and create space for the quick guys on the outside. Speaking of which, there's some good pace. And again, we've seen that several times this tournament. Will Maddox down the outside, providing the pace, and good support on the inside from Tristan Riley.
I think that was straight out of Justin Harrison's playbook. That was brilliant, actually. Just what I enjoyed is the option to go wide in your 22. A lot of teams don't think you're going to attack, and it is actually one of the best places to attack from, and great decision making, and also just a brilliant bit of individual skill to create it.
And what they're doing is they're actually using what they've got very well, because they did use the big unit to truck it up there on the inside. He drew in a couple of defenders that, you know, the slide defence was still there, but they were one short, and they underestimated the pace of Will Maddox, and you know, a couple of teams got burned by that yesterday. Yep. So he created that try with his pace down the outside, good reverse pass, return ball into Tristan Riley, and under the post, 7 points.
Hey, he can run, and there was a nice little flick pass out the back.
But don't underestimate these Wallabies.
Oh!
That man would be offside.
Knock on first.
Tapping his head, I'm not sure what that signal was. Tapping his head again, we're still unsure what that signal is.
There's an option to have been a free kick there for the accidental offside. But
yeah, because it did come through the Wallabies' hands to a man in front, and he chose to catch it rather than let the ball hit him. So it's a bit of a generous option there from the referee, but let's see if Samurai can use this possession from the scrum. Good lines. Forming defence from the Wallabies. Oh, busting up the middle. Very aggressive running there through from Aaron Carroll. Again, the Wallabies not quite showing the same structure as any of the teams on defence, but gosh, there's a bit of desire there. They're all fighting to get into position and make the important tackle. Samurai choosing to bust through the middle, still going. On with a sore head then, maybe the referee will pat it for him. Oh, we've got a yellow card there. Okay, Will Maddox earning the ire of the ref. He's in the red zone there too. You can't get away with anything.
You see him come in from the offside position, and that's going to be yellow cardable at any time in that area of the field. The pace at which the Samurai are running onto that ball like exocets.
Oh, some big units. That run from Aaron Carroll up the middle, it's a very high tackle, and we see Will Maddox here just in the replay. What's he doing? He's around the side of the ruck. It's not from the back. It is actually a ruck, and the referee doesn't like that. 3 metres from the goal line, because if that ball had been cleared from there, it would have likely been a try on the other side of the field. So Samurai looks set to take the tap. But the extra men they've got, space is generally going to be on the outside. And Julie goes across the line. That was big guy against small guy, and as often happens, the big guy won. I think you'll find George Nicholas going across for the try.
It's, I mean, very ruthless inside the red zone there, Samurai. And again, what's impressed me is the movement of everybody off the ball, and there's plenty of options, and the right option was taken there with the ball out wide.
I think what we'll see as the game progresses, the Samurai have got a very, very strong all-round squad, so going to the bench doesn't hurt them too much. I think you'll find the depth on the Classic Wallabies bench is maybe not as strong in terms of skill and fitness. Okay, ball didn't go 10, but the Classic Wallabies choose to play the ball, so game on. The big man, Sione Mao, taking the ball up, beating 3 tacklers just with his sheer size. Okay, ball's in the hands of big Wendell Saylor here. Quite got the same outside break he used to have.
That's high.
Oh, okay. So the referee's adjudicating. Gone off his feet to get that ball.
Again here, do you go for the line out? Yep.
Oh, you go for the line out. Did that go dead in goal? That's a bad mistake. Wallabies going for the line out close to the corner, but being too aggressive, ending up turning over possession, giving the Samurai a scrum 5 metres outside their 22. Situations, you hit touch. It's a great bonus. If you miss and go dead, you just give the ball away where you kicked it.
And ultimately, there was, I mean, no need to rush that. You're always going to get the throw in, but there was only 20 seconds left on the clock. You might as well take your time, be sure of the kick, and make most of your last play.
What do we see here? We've got Samurai with a scrum, and remember, they've got a one-man numerical superiority. Yep. So I think we'll see them move it here. They'll be looking to keep the ball alive till they score. We go, and strong up the middle, support on the outside, streaking away to the corner, and boy, did that game turn quickly. Try in the corner to Naroni Mugabe, and you know, that was
I think it was Amoni Narawa who made the break.
Yeah.
Some sensational speed showed there for a big fella.
Just patience on the outside, and you know, set piece scrum, you're always going to have one man missing, because you've got to, the rules are, if you have a yellow card, you have to pack 5 in the scrum.
Yep.
So it's going to be 4 on 5 in the back line. Now, unfortunately, the conversion was close but missed by Zane Capelli, and halftime score, Samurai 10, Classic Wallabies 7.
You can see again, we talked about the first game, but this time we saw it, the momentum shift. The Samurai did capitalise on their opportunity, and from starting 7 down, they've come back brilliantly in that no panic in the team, and they'll be happy, I think, with that first half performance.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed to have left the first try in, but it was actually a very well worked try. So, you know, their defensive system was in place. They just got beaten on the outside by a quick man that they'd shown a break to. So, plenty of noise and action and excitement here at the GFI 10s. Apologies if the ground announcer overwhelms our commentary every now and then, but such is life when you're sitting in the grandstand doing the commentary.
Yeah, I think we're going to see this place alive in another few hours, which is going to be exciting.
And just looking at the overhead conditions, I think the sun might poke through in the end of the day. It's always a bit more pleasant for the locals coming in for the big games at the end of the day with an icy beer in their hand and a bit of sun on their back.
Yeah, and it's the GFI 10s is brilliant. Really. It's a great starter to the week, building into the 7s coming up tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday.
And it's a global class event in itself. So it's a long-standing tradition here at the Hong Kong Football Club, and indeed the Hong Kong Football Club is the place the Hong Kong Sevens grew from.
Yeah.
So originally, when it was a grass and more often dirt and quite often mud ground, when the heavens opened up, this is where this is the birthplace of the Hong Kong Sevens. So it's spawned into another tournament, which is a world-class tournament in its own right.
Oh, it is, and the level of competition does just improve year on year out, and you're seeing that in this game that we've got right in front of us now.
So I think we'll see the Samurai wanting to keep the pace of the game up and try and wear down the Classic Wallabies. Nice high restart, plenty of opportunity to contest. Ball in the hands of Samurai. Outside, but Wendell's got it covered, maybe. Wallabies ball. Wide. Will Maddox is back from the bin. Oh. Thing to take the option down the outside. Dicing with a touchline. Right, they'll be patient. They'll wait for the right opportunity. Oh. Step, but still solid defence there. Not rolling away. Quick tap. Oomfa. Again, another storming run from Aaron Carroll up the middle there.
Yeah, I was going to say Big Dell's come in with a try saver there on the line.
Look, referees are conferring. Let's hopefully we'll have the benefit of the replay. We can.
It did look like a knock on.
Feel that it may have been intentionally slapped down. So it's referees ruled it's a knock on by the Samurai.
I've seen the Classic Wallabies like to play from these positions.
Yeah, they've taken Wendell off. He may not be the one that they need to chase the big long 100-metre kick to the other end of the field. It's probably a little more out of his comfort zone than it used to be.
Yeah.
But scrum all important here. We saw Wallabies packing a big scrum, but they were pushed off the ball earlier in the piece. Another strong shove by the Samurai. On kick down the middle of the field, ball staying in play. A good chase from the Wallabies, but twinkle toes there, stepping the whole. Man and support inside. Interesting tactics. Naroni McGarvey did all the hard work and then blew it in the last minute.
Just doing too much. Just made it more complicated than it needed to be there. But there's probably also a bit of a lack of communication with the support player.
Yeah, there's only 7 men in the opposition. He'd beaten 10 men in the opposition. He'd beaten 7 of them. He was looking for number 8 to beat.
That was some fantastic footwork.
First responsibility there is stay alive till your support gets to you, but didn't need any support. He just ran through the whole lot of them. Oh, tight head to the Samurai. Wrong run there from Zane Capelli. Ball turned over again though, in the hands of Sione Mao. He's not going to let it go in a hurry. Oh, seatbelt tackle there. So the ball arm just slipping over the shoulder, and the referees do not allow that anymore. Wallabies will look to touch. Game's in the balance. 10-7 to the Samurai, but one try could decide this whole game.
Yeah, we've seen that Classic Wallabies can put it together when they need to. So there's, this is a good attacking opportunity for them.
They've got, Hardly straight that throw, but never mind. We move on, straight into his hands. Now they've got the bulk of their young fast guys on the pitch, so that's where we see. No, very efficient defence there from Samurai. Just sliding with the attack and just driving them towards the touchline and leaving Will Maddox no option but to take the tackle and be forced over the sideline.
An angle change needed there just to keep the defence honest.
And that's the difference we see between these two teams, with the understanding the Samurai have got of each other's play. You see the angle shifts, the players are motion off the ball all the time. Wallabies just content to shovel it across the line, and that's partly because of the unfamiliarity with each other. Crooked throw there. A lot easier to rule when it's in the air rather than when it's thrown straight to the big guy.
Almost as crooked as the last one.
Yeah. And it.
Yeah, unfortunately, he wasn't quite as subtle.
Big unit goes in, trying to shore up the scrum that got shunted in the last one. I think that the Samurai. It's interesting, some of these scrum decisions. So there was clearly a big shunt there. The referees ruled walking around, but when the opposition front row goes up under the pressure, it's hard to how the aggressive team gets blamed for that.
Yeah.
So.
I'll admit, scrummaging's not been my forte over the years, but.
And scrum's over, they've taken 2 of the front row off.
Yeah.
So they have a line-out team and a scrummaging team. And that's efficient use of the bench. Stephen Larkham on the sideline there is managing that extremely well. And if he's got his weapons out there when they've got the ball, that makes a lot of sense. Very, very physical at the breakdown there. Carried forward there by Victor Harris. Still in possession. Aidan Sargent trying to step through. He's not going to break the line with his size, but he might do it with his guile. Strong tackle. Referee's got his arm out. Looks like it may have been a high tackle.
Good ball.
Great ball. Flat pass. Well taken. Another strong tackle. The referee's taking the opportunity to confer with his assistant on the sideline.
See, you can just feel it boiling. You know, both teams have got every opportunity here. Wallabies are in a great position.
The referee's called that a high tackle. Not an agreement, Luke Campbell. And this is critical. This time of the game, there's 2.5 minutes, so they'll play out the game with only 9 players. Wallabies are going to go to their set piece.
Well, let's see what they can do with the numerical advantage in their favour.
That incident, it was could be the critical point of the match. He's held up. This will be a maul. And it didn't go across the line, so clever play by the Samurai defence there. They knew the moment that player got to the ground, they'd be forced to release him and position to go back to the Wallabies. So holding him up, they've forced a maul and a scrum for their position. 1.5 to go. In the Wallabies make multiple changes every single breakdown.
Yeah, well, you spotted it earlier. They brought on the scrumming unit.
They every time there's a set piece, they change. They bring the line out on, shove the scrum on. It's using the rules to the limit, but it's
you got Steve.
It's stretching them.
You got Steve Larkham on the bench here, controlling things. Who is always a smart operator. He knows what he's doing.
You need that. You can't just do it all with grunt. I've got the next wave of substitutions already with their pieces of paper in hand.
Key here is to really apply that pressure now at the set piece. Try and make this ball as messy as possible for Samurai.
Oh, Samurai down in front of the post. Still got control of the ball here though. They should give themselves a bit of breathing room and get their backs in action. I think exploit Sione Mal there. He's the one you're going to manipulate with your feet. A lot of men committed to the breakdown though. They're going to be forced to kick. Oh, and they've sensibly run the clock down and denied the classic Wallabies the chance of winning the match. So very, very sensible play, good strategy.
Yeah, look, that's, you know, Samurai there, they probably haven't experienced that pressure